Could One Punch Man fight and win against some popular SCPs? Well, after seeing some animations of One Punch Man fighting these creatures, I asked, well, could he actually fight and win against some of the SCPs shown? So in this video I examined Saitama, the One Punch Man, and also some popular SCPs to see who actually wins. The One Punch Man, a normal human that lived a boring, miserable life, working day to day with no aim. That is until one day, he began a rigorous training regime of 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every day along with proper nutrition and rest without skipping a day. This then led to him losing his hair and breaking his limiter, making him so strong that he usually needs only one punch to win. Now, from the current details of the manga, One Punch Man has shown that he is a strong fella. Some of the more impressive feats are that he clashed with a similarly powerful character named of Cosmic Garu and wiped out a bunch of stars and planets with ease. He was also shown to be able to kick away hyperspace portals and can sneeze Jupiter away. Other crazy things he can do is perfectly copy martial arts techniques, control his own matter and antimatter, making it so he can travel back in time. He can also somehow force himself into a mental or spiritual plane, as seen with the time he did that with Phoenix Man. Now, Saitama did all of this either casually or purposely holding back, as when he fought Cosmic Garu, he was only using one arm as the other held Genos' core to protect it. And in every other fight in the series, he is quite casual and neutral, no matter the threat. Saitama also has exponentially growing power with seemingly no limit. He can get pretty strong real quickly, especially if a fight keeps going and he gets emotional. As for how fast he can move, he is shown to move a fraction of the speed of light to even up to that speed, as he kept up with some characters which start to approach the speed of light. Now, in all truth, as his power grows, so does his speed and durability. So there's no set number or calculation, as it's mostly dependent on either how long the fight goes on or how seriously he takes a certain fight. So now, with that info of the One Punch Man out of the way, let's now begin by looking at some popular SCPs and then comparing them to the One Punch Man. Beginning first with SCP-173, the sculpture, not the true form. Now, this SCP and other SCPs have their original article and extended canons, all that give different attributes to them. For each of the entries, I'll just go with the widely agreed upon and commonly used stats that they're given in other videos and media to make things a little bit more coherent. Now, the 173 is a statue that is usually stationary, but when no one is looking at it, it moves to the nearest living thing to break its neck. Its recorded speeds vary and range quite a bit, but in some documents it's been described as being able to move fast enough to almost completely disappear from the range of capture of the security cameras employed in the SCP Foundation. Now, of course it depends which kind of camera and also the speed, distance, and all that, but this makes it pretty fast, especially for a statue of concrete that just slides around the floor. Now, when it does approach a nice neck to break, it has been described as having the anomalous ability to break any neck, no matter how indestructible. Its durability is also quite undefined as its speed, as few tales actually describe a scenario where it is destroyed, as the Foundation prefers not to terminate SCPs, but in the tales where it is destroyed, it does not take all that much effort. The power necessary for destruction changes, obviously, but attacks from other powerful SCPs have been shown to work, along with explosions. The main issue is that destroying it does not kill it. Destruction either makes it regenerate back after a while, or the bits of concrete all retain their anomalous nature, making them all tiny bits of neck-breaking concrete. So, does the One Punch Man one-punch the concrete neck breaker? Well, in most cases, yes, but this does not mean a win for the One Punch Man. This is because Saitama has enough power to destroy 173 when comparing him to a grand majority of 173 destruction documents, but destruction for 173 does not mean an end to the creature. Now, in an actual fight, Saitama would probably not even attack the statue, as he would just look at it, question it, start to walk away, nearly get attacked by the statue, and then he would grab it and place it somewhere else, seeing as it's kind of weird. So Saitama might not be able to defeat SCP-173, but he could easily put it somewhere which could contain it or just nullify the creature outright. as the creature is not fast enough to actually get to Saitama to try and break his neck. Now let's look at the other most popular SCP-096. This SCP is a large humanoid that gets very angry at anyone who looks at its face, no matter the way, form, or place, as he can sense someone looking at him even through a small pixel on an image that has a small indiscernible part of his face. So here's an image of 096. Now he's gonna get you. Probably. Now, when in pursuit of the one who saw its face, he is considered an unstoppable force, as no Earth-made defense or material can hold him back, and no distance is far enough away. As for his actual power, he's able to destroy any object on Earth as long as it's not an anomalous thing, and his power grows the longer he is in pursuit, and also if his target is stronger than him, as he gets more angry the longer the target is alive, with him getting strong enough to drag around a star. As for speed, his lowest recorded speed is 37 kilometers per hour, and his highest is hypersonic speeds, give or take. And again, this depends on how long until he can destroy his target, or how fast his target actually is. Now, for durability, 096 is described as having a virtually indestructible skeleton that has only been able to be broken by other anomalies, but was not killed by this, and his skeleton regenerated. Now, his other tissue can be destroyed with anti-tank level weapons, but it also regenerates back, and also kinda grows a little bit more resistant the longer he's pursuing something. Now, if he can't destroy a target, no matter how hard he tries, then he gets incredibly upset and then runs off to feverishly cry away his sorrows. So, does the Caped Baldy one-punch 096? Well, Saitama could possibly get to a point where he gets strong enough to punch through the skeleton of SCP-096, as it has been broken via kinetic energy before, but actually finishing off 096 would be a toss-up depending on which canon you choose, as 096 can regenerate back completely, but can be pacified and calmed down if you destroy his nervous system from some of the tales. So Saitama does defeat, or in this case pacify 096, as the monster's power growth does not match Saitama's exponential growth, as Saitama gets strong pretty fast in a very short amount of time. So Saitama will always be stronger and faster than 096 in grand majority of cases. Now let's move on to much stronger SCPs to truly test the One Punch Man, with the first one being SCP-682, the hard-to-destroy lizard. This lizard is described as being hard to destroy because it constantly evolves countermeasures, so no matter what you do to it, it will evolve a counter to it. This incredible adaptability also allows it to go from a bus-sized lizard capable of just destroying buildings to rivaling elder gods and deities as it goes into its Leviathan form. The only successful ways it has been destroyed in some tales is either complete narrative erasure, which has failed in some others, to complete destruction on the subatomic and conceptual level. Now, its strength is undefined as it constantly grows stronger, and this goes the same for its durability and speed, but other ways it can evolve is by becoming incorporeal or going into higher dimensional planes of existence, thus being able to become a multiversal level threat or even a spiritual threat. Now, can One Punch Man one-punch the scary lizard thing? Well, let's find out. So the fight will mostly come down to who can get stronger than who faster, until one can overwhelm the other. Starting off at their lowest point of power, Saitama is dramatically stronger than SCP-682, as even casually he does a bunch of weird wacky things. This makes it so Saitama can one-punch the lizard into several little pieces, but this would then make the lizard come back and evolve greater durability and strength to try and counter the punch. This would go on for a while, as Saitama would not be able to fully destroy SCP-682 in all of its matter, as Saitama would not take the fight seriously at first, therefore avoiding his only chance to destroy the lizard before it can adapt. Now, after a somewhat long period of fighting, 682 will eventually either supersede Saitama in raw power, durability, and speed, or evolve some broken hack's ability, either of which would lead him to beating Saitama. Now let's look at the supposed father of the lizard, SCP-001, Tufto's Proposal. So what is Tufto's Proposal for SCP-001? Well, it's one of the more dreadful and stronger iterations of the Scarlet King. This is because the document describes the Scarlet King as a threat to all of existence in the SCP cosmology. Other notes about the Tufto's proposal is that the Scarlet King has incredible magic that it could use. With this magic and other outside help, being able to create a defensive magic seal that makes the Scarlet King immune to any type of harm from anyone lesser than or equal to him. Other bits of info are that he grows stronger the more you know about him. He can also create or at least control and destroy concepts, and can summon a massive giant army at just about any point. His power is described as so great that even his offspring, which is capable of going toe-to-toe with the elder gods of the SCP lore, and even damaging 100th dimensional trees, are all pretty much insignificant to him. Another tale also describes his power as when he fought the other powerful SCP creatures called the Brothers Dead, all of creation pretty much got turned to ash just by the fight alone. And there are several other tales, all of which give more feats and just pretty much say that the Scarlet King is a pretty strong force in the SCP cosmology, even though he's not the strongest or really that close to being the strongest. So, could the One Punch Man one-punch the Scarlet King? Well, unfortunately, no. Even with the exponential, limitless power growth of Saitama, he would be unable to reach a higher dimensional, boundless being to actually directly confront him in a fight. Saitama would only really be able to fight the avatars of the Scarlet King, but may also still lose to those, as they still have some of the hacks abilities of the Scarlet King. This creature could also just destroy concepts of strength, exponential growth, and other things, which would nullify Saitama's power completely. But then again, the One Punch Man story is not over, so Saitama could be much stronger as he is considered a gag character. So who knows, maybe the One Punchy Man can one-punchy the Scarlet King.